The University of California system clearly believes an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Beginning in 2017, all incoming students will be required to be vaccinated for a variety of diseases, including measles, mumps, and chickenpox. Right now, students are only required to be vaccinated for hepatitis B. The move comes as a measles outbreak that began at Disneyland continues to spread across the nation. Here to talk more about the controversy surrounding vaccinations is Christopher Chambers, a professor and lecturer from Georgetown University. Thanks so much for joining us, Christopher. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So California says that the number of cases have now topped 100, and we are hearing new cases in North Carolina, in Chicago, and New Jersey. How bad does it get before we expect these numbers to level off?
Well, it's bad now because we're talking about a disease that for the United States of America should have been arrested, if not eradicated. For every one person that you have that has the disease, you're exposing a lot of older people and children, particularly infants, to a lot more people. So, I mean, 100 cases doesn't sound like a lot, but with something that could spread, the problem is that it has to be something really bad like the Disneyland outbreak to get the attention of the mainstream media here and to get the responsible attention of the mainstream media here, because what we've seen in the last 48 to 72 hours is irresponsibility and at some points even politicization of this issue, and that's not what the United States needs right now.
That's true. Now, a lot of states allow for faith exemptions when it comes to a lot of these vaccinations. Due to this recent outbreak, do you think that will change in many states across the country?
I think that it's going to change quietly. The irony of this whole thing is that you have California, which is supposedly a very progressive state, having these outbreaks, whereas states like Mississippi and West Virginia, which, colloquially or just culturally are not known as progressive, have had very low rates and because they have requirements that the children cannot be enrolled in public schools unless they are vaccinated. And there are statewide requirements even for children in private schools in some of these states. So I think you're quietly going to see the faith exemptions kind of go away. In public, however, it makes a lot of political hay for people to talk about faith and talk about liberty, particularly, I think, in terms of attacking President Obama for coming out and saying, look, your children need to be vaccinated. But that's the public persona. In private, behind closed doors, everybody's probably saying, look, we have to close these loopholes and close them fast.
Now, a very respected organization, Autism Speaks, came out a few days ago and said, parents, please vaccinate your children. Do you think this will encourage more parents who are anti-vaccination to do that for their children?
Well, in our society in the United States, we have a lot of issues these days with true believers not really wanting to look at certain facts that don't fit their belief system. And I'm sure there are people who will probably be swayed by this, but I'm sure there are probably people who are saying that Autism Speaks is probably under a lot of political pressure and probably had to make this announcement. But this is a major public health problem that could turn into a fiasco. It's certainly a public relations fiasco for the United States to have this disease resurface. But it's great that Autism Speaks is going out in front. The problem is, will the people who are, quote, true believers, unquote, in anti-vaccination and autism was part of their hook, if you, so to speak, will they go along with it? Some will say it's a ruse.
Well, Christopher Chambers, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with us today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Still to come, fascinating video of a boy and a man sucked down a storm drain. You're watching Arise News Weekend.